Hey guys, Darius here. I put a lot of work into this tutorial and I would really appreciate if you guys could leave a like and a favorite for the video, and this helps me by sharing the video with other people and they can find my channel and subscribe, and it really also helps my self-esteem and it motivates me to keep making tutorials because I know that you guys like them, and positive feedback is always welcome, and it's motivating. So please, if you could just leave a like after you finish watching the video, that would be fantastic. um, okay, enjoy the video. Hey, what's going on guys, Darius here, and today I have a new awesome tutorial for you guys, and this is the aquarium tutorial that I promised to do like a long time ago, but I kind of got caught up with stuff and I didn't have the time. But here we go, let's pass on into Photoshop and let's start doing this tutorial. And it simply involves a little bit of knowledge about geometry, and let's see. So file new, make a new file, whatever size you want. I'm just going to, for the sake of this tutorial, just do a normal square-ish kind of canvas. And the gradient, make sure you have a gradient selected here that's going from light-ish black to black. Okay. So we're going to click in the center and drag it so we have like this light-ish circle in the center, and then fading out like a vignette on the sides with black. And obviously I have the gradient set on to radial, and the gradient is here. If you press G you can find it. Awesome. Now let's start with geometry. Create a new layer. There we go. And we're going to try okay, so we're trying to make a rectangle with our marquee tool. Or you know what, I'm just going to use the shape tool this time, rectangle tool, and make a rectangle like this. Okay, so now let's start with geometry. We're going to actually make a new copy of this rectangle, and let me just make a copy here, and we have it on top. And I'm going to change the color to I don't know, this magenta-ish thing, and I'm going to move it just a bit to the right up. There we go, like so. And I'm going to put this behind, and now we have to unite these points here that are the corners of these rectangles. And to make that easier, we're going to use the ruler tool that's available in Photoshop, and just press Ctrl R and it's going to pop up just like that. And the ruler tool will snap on the edges of the rectangle. If I click here and drag, a blue line will go along in the canvas, and it's just going to snap on the edges of the rectangle that you have selected. So like this. I'm gonna make another one here and one on top. You can grab from the top too, and here. And now the other side, the other rectangle, make sure to click on the rectangle layer and drag it here, and drag the sides, and this one here. Oop, it's gonna snap, and there we go. Oops, I messed up. Let me just undo that. Is it on the bottom? Nope. There we go. Okay, so now that we got that covered, we can unite the points with the pen tool. So I'm gonna make a new layer on top of all these layers, and I'm going to grab my pen tool, color, I don't know, blue for example, and I'm going to zoom in. I'm holding Alt and rotating the mouse wheel, if you're wondering how I'm zooming in this fast. And I'm going to just click on this point here, where the highlight lines intersect, and we're going to make the cover of the aquarium, which is going to be on top obviously. But you can skip that, you know, if you have an open aquarium or stuff like that. Now we're going to make another shape on a new layer, and it's going to unite this point here, and don't worry about being accurate, it's going to snap where the lines intersect anyway. And there we go, here and here. Okay, and we don't need to do the bottom side. It's not that necessary because we're gonna cover it up with textures and stuff anyway. And now let's make the these rectangles, let's make them all bluish. There we go, this blue here. Let me check the hexadecimal value. This is 00BFF3, and we're gonna copy this. Okay, and let's see, two of the rectangles must be of a darker color, and these are the sides and the top, depending on which perspective you have of your aquarium. Like this could be on the other side, or I don't know. And it's really important that the frontal aquarium is a bit on top like that. There we go. And we can actually group these. Let me just select them all and press Ctrl G on the keyboard, and it's going to make a group with these shapes. Okay, so now let's make the top shape. Let's see, is this one? No, this is the oh, this is also good. The side shape, and where's the top shape? There we go. Okay, so side shape. We're going to just darken the color a bit. Just click here on the fill and click on this rainbow colorist square and just drag this down here until you have this value here, which is 008 dB3, or anything else along those lines. And the top, let's see, is it this one? Yep, that's it. And fill. There we go, on the rainbow thing, and paste it. There we go. And now the top and the side is darker, and as you can see, we have a geometrical shape right now. So to hide the lines and show them, you press Ctrl and H on the keyboard, or view and then extras, and it's going to show the lines again. Let's see, now we're going to lower the opacity of this this whole group of shapes to about, let's see, 50%. Yeah, let me just put 50. There we go. Awesome, fantastic. Now we're going to add our textures. Where are my textures? There we go. Okay, so I have these textures that I gave away on Facebook, on facebook.com/BakaTutorials, and you can download them there with no problem. Okay, so I'm going to take this moldy shape, moldy. I forgot the name of moss. It's moss. It's called moss. And what we need to do now is just add this into Photoshop, and just let me unhide the lines. And what we have to do is place it in the perspective of the aquarium. So it's going to be a shape like this. Going here, going here, going here, and going here on the bottom. So just imagine you're doing the bottom of the aquarium, but with this texture, and I'll show you why in a second. Just zoom in. I'm going to unhide the texture, and I'm going to press Ctrl T on the keyboard while having the texture layer selected. I'm going to resize it. I'm going to drag it. There we go. Over there. And I'm going to unite the points to make the bottom of the aquarium, just like so. There we go. Okay, come on. You have to zoom this. Oh, and to distort the shape like this, let me just show you how to do this. Hold Control on the keyboard and then press a point, and you can actually distort the shape freely. There we go. So I'm going to put this point there. I'm just going to arrange them in a bit. And I'm going to put this point here. I'm going to put this point here. And going to put this point here. Now it might look a bit pixelated, but don't worry about it. We're going to cover it up. Oh, this is just the base, you know, of the aquarium. So let me just add the points right where it intersects, just like this. There we go. I'm gonna zoom in so I can correctly place them. There we go. Yep, manipulation basics. And I'm going to put this here. So you see, it's actually not that hard, guys. And I'll press enter. Oops, press enter. Okay, and now we have this shape on the bottom right now. And let's move it up. So I'm gonna grab my move tool with the layer selected, click on it, and let me just move it up. Use shift while you're doing this, so it just moves without moving, you know, left and right. It just moves up and down. And I'm going to place it about Let's see. Let me just see how big is it. Okay, this is a good placement. I'm going to leave it here like that. Okay, so now that we have the shape here, we can actually make the walls that that are slapped onto the aquarium. And I'm going to use another texture for this, and I'm going to use this mossy thing, wall-ish. Ew, it looks disgusting, but it's gonna look good on the aquarium. And I guess you already know how I'm gonna place it, but before I'm gonna place it, I need to add some more lines. I'm gonna add them right here so it snaps, There we go. So we have the edges, and we can't actually put them there, but okay. Okay, now we can add this texture. I hope you guys are following me so far. There we go. I can actually just press Ctrl T and do it the same way I did the others. There we go. And let me just rasterize this first so I can delete it. I'm not gonna use masks in this tutorial, but you can use it, but it's just gonna take a bit more time. So right click and then rasterize layer. There we go. And now we can actually delete a part of this. I'm gonna actually make two parts so we don't have equal wall. Equal wall. Sorry, my voice is just like really weird right now. Okay, so I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna press Ctrl T on the keyboard, and I'm going to unite this point. Come on, you can do it. And this point, and this point. There we go. And this point here. There we go. Let me just zoom in to make sure that I have them right on the intersection. There we go. Okay, here too, so we don't mess up. There we go. Come on. Okay, fantastic, fantastic, fabulous. And we're gonna put this here. Come on. And oop, this is way out of line. There we go, just like that. All right, and we have one wall, and we can press enter, and it's going to apply it. There we go. Now we're going to take this one. Is it this one? This one here. Let me just color code this to blue so I know which one is which. There we go. And this one I'm going to press Ctrl T and do the same thing. There we go. Yeah, it takes a while. I know it's boring at the beginning, but the end result will be awesome. And I'm going to make this a bit smaller so I can drag it. And I'm going to drag it there. And I'm going to drag them in, let's see, this point here. Let me see. There we go. Okay. There we go. Awesome. Fantastic. That looks good. That looks good. That's the base of our aquarium. Let me just hide the lines. That looks really good, actually. Okay. Now we're going to grab this top texture here. We're going to right click and then rasterize it, and then go to filter and then liquify, and we're going to create bumps so it doesn't look that flat, the soil doesn't look that flat. So I'm just gonna create a few bumps with the liquify tool here and there, there we go, and there we go. This is maybe too much. There we go. Fantastic. And this is the what's it called, forward warp tool. Okay, and check that out. That looks fantastic. I'm gonna just move this on top of it so it's gonna overlap. There we go. And I'm just going to transform it again a bit, There we go. Let's see how that looks. All right, now we're going to cover the soil with rocks and vegetation, so it's not gonna look blurry and stuff. Well, it's just not gonna show that much. It's like textures in video games. You won't mind it. Okay, so we pass on to the next part, and it's going to be adding vegetation. Okay, welcome to part 2, and now we're going to learn how to add elements inside of the aquarium. So first things first, let's make it look more like an aquarium. So we're going to go to our group with the shapes and just lower the opacity of the frontal one, of the frontal panel of the aquarium just a bit, so we can highlight the shadows in the background. Let's see, let me just check this. There we go. Okay, awesome. And as you can see, I just lowered the opacity of the frontal panel, and now it looks like we have a shade on the side, which is fantastic. And now we have to darken the ground that's on the bottom of the aquarium. So I'm gonna press Control and U on the keyboard, and we're going to just lower the lightness just a little bit like that. There is, let's see how much is enough. There we go. Okay. And minus 37% seems to be good in this case, and we're gonna do the same for the other one, minus 37, and okay. And now we have darkened the darkened our ground. Sorry, my voice is really weird. And now let's add some rocks, some vegetation and stuff like that. So I'm gonna drag a coral rock, which is actually a boombox radio kind of thing, coral radio, but it's good, you know, to have it as a rock inside of the aquarium. So let me just put this around here somewhere. Okay, good position. And obviously we're gonna do shading and stuff like that in a bit. Let's add some vegetation. Let me see if I can find my underwater plants. There we go, found them. And I'm just gonna drag underwater plants that I downloaded from DeviantArt to our mix. Let's call it mix, you know? There we go. And I'm just gonna put it there. Maybe some other plants. This one looks cool. And I'm going to obviously link you guys to these stocks. There we go. Some plants here, some plants there. Maybe I'm gonna make, let's see. There we go. There we go. Just like that. Fantastic. Let's see how that looks. Great. It's all going to look better with shading and with highlights and stuff like that. This is just the basic manipulation, you know, just the basics. So don't worry if it looks creepy right now. What's next? What can we add? Let me see if I can find a ship that I was looking for a while ago, but I can't seem to find it. But maybe you guys can find a ship, you know, to add to your manipulation. So I'm just gonna add another rock. There we go. We can add some treasures, a castle and stuff like that. Let's see, I'm gonna put this right here. Awesome. Let me just save. There we go. Cool. That looks good. And now let's pass on to adding water. So to add in water is just really simple. You just drag in a stock of some, I don't know, some water thingy that you have, and you're gonna put the stock on screen. Where is it? Screen, and then press Control T and just move it around as you see fit. In my case, I'm going to make the aquarium semi-full of water, so we still have some splashes on the top. So now that I have resized it, I'm going to right click and rasterize it and grab my marquee tool and just delete the excess. I know the things that are outside of the aquarium that we don't need. There we go. And I'm going to go to my polygonal lasso tool and I'm going to remove this one. There we go. And voila. Okay, now we need to erase some stuff. You're gonna grab your eraser tool, soft brush, about 115 size, and you're going to go to your opacity and set it to 25-ish, and the flow to about 25, 26 is okay. And just erase the extra parts that are just shouldn't be covered too much in water, like the walls of the aquarium there, you know, just to give it a nice effect around here because it's darker, and around there like so. Just undo There we go. Awesome. And now let's take care of the splashes on top. Okay, so to make splashes is like really easy. You just drag in a few water splashes that you have. I'm just gonna drag in mine. There we go. And I'm gonna make it smaller. And I'm just going to place it around the top of the water. There we go. I'm gonna rotate, you know, scale just as much as I need to, just like that. Press enter. There we go. There we go. And I'm gonna put this right here. I'm gonna drag in another water splash. There we go. Gonna make it smaller. Let's see. Now I'm not gonna talk always, you know, when I'm doing the tutorial, so just bear with me. Okay, I'm gonna move this here and this. Oh, god damn it. This here. There we go. And now you're gonna select all of them and right click, merge rasterize layers first, and then merge layers. And you're going to put it on screen. And now I'm going to just erase the extra stuff that we don't need. And we're actually going to make a brush out of this. So let me just put it on normal again. Hold Control and click on the thumbnail, and it's going to select the water. And then go to Edit and then Define Brush Preset, and it's going to make a brush. Now let's go to the Eraser tool and select our brush, our water splash brush. And we're just going to erase around the bottom just a little bit, you know, so we don't have water that's too turbulent. You know, we want to make it a little bit realistic. Okay, and then put it back on screen. And now we're gonna make a copy out of it, and we're gonna put this on darken. And I'm going to lower the opacity of darken to about 40%, maybe lower. 33% apparently does it in this case. Let me just zoom out. Let me just hide the lines, and yep, that looks good. Now I already made mine, but yeah, I'm gonna keep this one here. There we go. I'm gonna erase the old one. And you can just group the body and the water splashes together, and yeah, see, I can hide it, I can show it again. And we're going to work on shading the rock and the plants, and you know, just making shadows. And I'm going to use a tablet for this, but don't worry, don't panic. I just use it because I find it easier to make shading and stuff like that, you know. So this is the plant and stuff. There we go. And I'm gonna make a new layer inside the group with the plants and the corals and stuff. And this is going to be the shading thingy. And I'm going to select a soft brush. Let's see, soft brush and black, obviously. I'm just gonna make it smaller, you know, as much as I need. 13 pixels apparently does it in this case. And the opacity, I'm gonna leave it to 100. Change the opacity here on top of the brush to about, let's see, 70%. Yeah, let's put it to 70. And the flow to about 75. So we don't have black fully, you see. And unless we do a second time or a third time, it gets darker and darker and darker. Okay. So I'm gonna grab my tablet really quick. Let's see, come on. And I'm just going to zoom in and stuff like that. I'm gonna move the microphone just a little bit away so I have space. There we go. Can you still hear me? Awesome. Oopsie there, I just made a boo-boo. And I'm going to start drawing the shading right now. There we go. I'm just gonna put it on the bottom, you know. There we go. Just gonna put the plants there, just like that. And there we go. Fantastic. Seems to work really well. I haven't calibrated the tablet yet, so yeah. And now what we're going to do is actually create some clipping masks to all of these things. So make a new layer, right click, create clipping mask. I'm gonna make a new layer, clipping mask. I'm just gonna, you know, put it down. Coral, clipping mask. Plant, clipping mask. Clipping mask, yeah. There we go. We're gonna start with the coral, and the coral should also have shadows on it, you know? So I'm just going to put the shadows where I think that it will hit, you know, like down here, for example. There we go. And they're going to be stronger on the bottom, just like that. I'm going to lower the opacity, obviously, because there shouldn't be that much. There we go. I'm going to save my project. And I'm actually going to make a new layer of shading, and I'm going to place it right on top of the coral, just like that. There we go. And I'm going to lower the opacity right now, and it's going to look really cool when I put the highlights on. Let me just erase, oops, sorry. Let me just erase something here so we don't have too much. I'm going to choose a soft brush. Just a bit off the top. Whoops, too much. And there we go. So we have our shading for the coral done. Now let's pass on to the other things. I'm gonna fast forward the video because come on, you don't want to sit here with me not doing the talking and stuff, entertaining you. So I'm just gonna fast forward until I'm done. Okay, so as you can see, I added some shading and it looks quite good. I'm pretty satisfied with it. Now let's work on the elements that are going to be inside of the aquarium. So let's add some raindrops. Let me just find them here, and I'm going to put them inside. There we go. And I'm going to make this smaller. You know, just add some little extra touch to the aquarium. Let me just erase this. Some of these things. There we go. Let me put them on screen. There we go. And you know, just give it some bubbles and stuff. Make it look like real water. There we go. Realistic. There we go. Awesome. And you can also make, you know, like some bubbles coming out of the coral or the plants and stuff like that. I usually do that with my tablet. Let's see. What else can we add? Let's see if I can add a ship. I don't know if I have one. I should have one here around here somewhere. Let me check. Okay, welcome to part 3, and I happen to find a ship, which is awesome. So I'm just gonna drag it into Photoshop. Let me just grab it. There we go. And it's a 3D pirate ship. Wait a second. Wait, let me just add the other version. There we go. And I'm going to make it smaller and just drag it inside the aquarium. Let me see, how small should I make it? Alright, about this size should do. I'm gonna tilt it a bit, you know, because it's sunken and people died. Damn it. And let me just grab the eraser tool and just slowly erase shit at the bottom like this. I'm gonna move it down, and I'm gonna add some shading. Create clipping mask. There we go. Gonna make some shading under it. Let me just grab my tablet. Let's see. There we go. Gonna choose a small brush size and just gonna paint a bit here and there. I'm gonna make it look better in a bit. There we go. You know, just blend it in. Let's see, let me just make the shadow area bigger because it's a big ship. I'm just gonna lower the opacity, and let's see how that looks zoomed out. Cool, that looks very nice. That looks actually very, very nice. Good, perfect. So let's add some fish, you know, some turtles and stuff like that. Let me see if I can find my turtle. Okay, so I found the turtle. I'm just gonna add it inside, and I'm going to just resize it a little bit. You can obviously find more turtle stocks on the internet. This is what I have for now, you know. I'm just gonna put it in there like so. It's just gonna move around, and let me just add some fish. I found a goldfish, which is lucky, and I'm going to put this inside too. And just put it there and move it. There we go. Gonna make it smaller because it's noticeable. And I'm gonna make his brother now. There we go. Some small brothers. You know, just play around. Don't be super accurate. Well, sometimes. There we go. A bank of fish. Not that many, but whatever. Gonna put one behind. And let's see, I'm gonna make another copy, and I'm going to move one fish on top of the whatchamacallit, the coral. Awesome. There we go. And there we go. I'm going to let's see, play around with it. Let me just add some bluish color to it with a soft brush. There we go. Come on. Rasterize layer. There we go. Don't mind my Skype. It seems to be very popular. Let me just close that. Just might put myself to do not disturb. Yes, do not disturb, because I'm busy right now. And let me just add some shading. Let's see, size 13 should do. Black opacity and flow. Let me just put it down, because fish need shading too. Don't be racist. There we go. Looks good. We're going to do some highlights just around the end, so we can make the aquarium pop up a lot. Okay, let's see. Looks good. Awesome. Now let's add the sky environment, you know, like the sun and some clouds, maybe some birds. So give me a second to find the resources, okay? Be right back. Okay, so to add the sun and you know, some clouds and some birds, it's really simple. Like, let's make the sun right now. I'm just going to choose a brush with hardness 100, size 100 pixels, about, you know, just like that. And then choose yellow, and then click once, and you're gonna have a yellow circle. Then go to your brush and select hardness 0 and make the brush just a little bit bigger with yellow, and just click 3-4 times on it, and then select orange and click once on it. There we go. And now make a new layer on top and select white and click once on top of it, and there you go. You have your sun. And make a new layer, and you're going to have your clouds, your cloud brushes here. I'm gonna post a link in the description to some nice cloud brushes. There we go. There you have it. And I'm going to you know, like, take this one for example with white and just put it there, and this there. Wait just a second, let me just put it there. Nope, on the other side. Looks better. There we go. That looks fantastic. And I'm going to select another brush. I'm gonna put it right here. And just like, you know, like weather icons, you know, they show on TV. Probably some birds here. I have these nice bird brushes that I'm going to link in the description, don't worry. And yeah, it looks cool. I already made mine, so I'm just gonna delete these, and I'm going to use mine, which is this one here. And yeah, that's basically how you do the environment. Now let's work on some on the main point, which is the highlights. And we're gonna make it look really cool. We're gonna make the bottom look really cool, and the highlights on the rock, on the ship, on the fishes. And for this, I'm going to have to use my tablet. But the first thing that we're going to do is to lower the opacity of the aquarium just a little bit. There we go. And the top side, we have to lower the opacity of the top side just a little bit, so we give it that that polygon kind of look, that rectangle-ish thing. And okay, now let's add the highlights. We're going to grab our line tool. Let me see if I can find it. Line tool, There we go. Make a new layer on top of everything, and with white, just let me just make sure that I have my lines here. Click it in this angle here, in this corner here, sorry, of the rectangle, and drag it down to the bottom of this corner here. And you're going to have a white line just like that. And now right click and rasterize the line, and then go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and just lower it a bit so it looks like the edges of the aquarium. Let me just make this a little bit bigger, just like this. There we go. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing for the other ones. So make a new layer on top, make a line, sorry, on the top like this, and one here like so, and then unhide the lines, press Ctrl F, and it's going to add this effect. Ctrl F here too, and check that out. We have a nice shape of an aquarium. We can actually lower the opacity because we don't need it to be seen that much, and we can actually lower the opacity of the aquarium now to make it, you know, a little bit transparent-ish. There we go. I would add another line right here in the back, but it's quite visible and people are gonna get it anyway. So for the bottom side, for the bottom part, we are going to what are we going to do? Add some shading, some light, that's what I was gonna do. I'm going to grab a soft brush, big sized, there we go. I'm gonna select some colors around here and just put it on the bottom, and then just add some Gaussian blur to it and lower the opacity and put it on overlay. There we go. So we have, let me just put the opacity a bit higher. So we have some nice reflections, well, lighting from the aquarium just hitting on the bottom, you know? And this layer is right on top of the background layer. Awesome. Now let's add some shading. I'm gonna have to use my tablet, just a second. There we go, let me just switch it. Awesome, fantastic. I say awesome a lot. I'm going to select black, and the size is gonna be definitely smaller, about 38 should do. Let me just lower the opacity of the brush to about 49%, and the flow to about 43. Make a new layer on top of the blue highlights, and let me just grab it, and let's see. I'm just gonna move the microphone away for a bit, and let's see how we can add some nice shading on the bottom. There we go, just like that. Right now it looks like it's floating, but don't worry, we're gonna lower the opacity and add some reflections afterwards. There we go, just lower the opacity, keep lowering it, add some more, make a new layer, add some more. There we go. You know, just give it a bit of depth. And we're just going to erase some of the parts that we don't need. Hardness 55, size 16 should do. Like I don't need, let me just undo that. This part over here. Let me just select the bottom layer, this part. There we go. There we go. Fantastic. And now we can add some reflections. Oh wait, I just missed something here. Let me just remove this part here too. And let me see if there's something else here. Perfect. Okay, now let's add some reflections. So we're going to reflect this entire aquarium on the bottom side, you know. Let's see, how do I do that? I'm gonna make, let me see, what if I do this? Okay, so hide the background and hide the highlights that you just added. Make a new layer on top of everything, an empty layer, and then image, apply image, and then OK. And now I should have a copy of the aquarium right here on top. Yep. Now press Ctrl T and flip it. There we go. Fantastic. I'm glad it worked. Let me just flip it up like this and press enter. And now I'm just going to zoom in. Let me see where my aquarium finishes. Let me just lower the opacity a bit so I see what I'm working with here. Fantastic. I'm gonna select the area that I want erased. There we go. And what else? Oh, that area there. This point to this point. And it's just gonna go around. And I'm gonna delete. And I'm going to hide the lines and lower the opacity quite a bit, so we just have just a tiny hint of the reflection. And I'm going to grab my eraser tool and just erase part that it's down. There we go, just like that. Wait just a second. There we go. Okay, and yeah, that's basically it. Let me just maybe play with the shapes around a bit more, these aquarium lines, you know, maybe lower the opacity a bit, and there you go. Now you have your awesome aquarium. And obviously this was just a simple shape, and obviously you can add more things inside, more elements, more environments. You can make a jungle and stuff like that inside. You can add entire cities like Atlantis and stuff like that. But these are the basics of making an aquarium like this. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Make sure to check out the description for the resources and stuff like that. I'm going to try to upload all of them somewhere that they don't get removed, usually Dropbox. So yeah, that's it. Make sure to like the video. It helps my self-esteem. And it also helps getting more people to my channel. And if you enjoyed the video, obviously favorite it and stuff like that, you know. Thank you for watching.